Today on Toy Geeks, we're going to recap day one of the first ever Hasbro Pulse Con, including new reveals from Star Wars and Marvel Legends. All that and more today on Toy Geeks. Hey everybody, and welcome to a special post-con recap episode of Toy Geeks. My name is Jay, and with me as always is John. How you doing, John?
Good. How are you?
I am doing all right. We had a whole day of festivities from PulseCon, and half of it was enjoyable. No, I'm kidding. No, it was a first of its kind, a completely virtual kind of Hasbro convention, and yeah, really excited to talk about it today. I mean, I think for a lot of us, we were probably mainly there for the Star Wars and the Marvel. And while nothing completely blew us, or maybe didn't blow us away, or maybe in the chat you can tell us otherwise,
yeah.
I think there's still a lot of exciting stuff to talk about from both Star Wars and Marvel. So that is what we are going to do today, breaking down all of the details, all of the big unveils and reveals from day one of Hasbro Pulse Con. We are also doing day two. That is tomorrow at 9 o'clock. So that one's going to have G.I. Joe, Transformers, Ghostbusters, Power Rangers. It's a really stacked day tomorrow. And we'll be doing the same thing, 9 o'clock right here, same channel, youtube.com/geekdadlife. So if you're watching this, you can watch us again tomorrow talking about tomorrow's event. So happy to do that and to be talking about it. All right. But before we get into that, a few housekeeping things. Last week on the show, at the very end, so like an hour and 20-something minutes in, I would not blame you if you didn't make it that far, but we did do a little tease, a little bit of announcement that our first show after these two Hasbro PulseCon post-con recaps, we're going to have our first special guest interview on our show. And it is none other than Scott Knightlick, a.k.a. Toy Guru, is coming on Toy Geeks and going to be talking toys with John and I. Really excited to have him join the show. And it will be live, our normal broadcast time, 9 o'clock on Sunday, October 4th. So 9 p.m. Eastern, we will have our very first special guest, Scott Knightlick, a.k.a. Toy Guru. So I'm really excited that he's going to be jumping on because, one, Motu Origins, what's his perspective there? I mean, he really kind of kept Motu alive in this period between 2000X and now Motu Origins. So definitely want to know his perspective there. Plus, I mean, not this Hasbro PulseCon stuff. I mean, even just Pulse in general is very much Hasbro's version of Matty Collector, which he started. So we only have an hour, but both John and I probably have like 1,000,001 questions for him. But it will be live just like all of our other shows. So anybody that shows up and is part of the live experience, you'll be able to ask a question and I'll be plussing them in like I usually do. So that'll be a part of it. As well as if you're listening at home on the podcast feed, send in your questions to toygeekshow@gmail.com. So that's toygeekshow@gmail.com. Let's jump into the chat, see who's here. We got Lolo Pap is back in the house. Hello, Lolo. This is actually dropped in well before we started the show. They're going to post day one so I can watch it. I missed due to working. I was working as well. I have two screens here and I had one just kind of off to the corner that hopefully none of my bosses saw as it was running today. So yeah, hopefully they do. I would think they would.
Yeah, I bet they'd put it up in segments.
Yeah, probably. Eddie Aguilar, I'm sad. I just found out that I'm broke. I mean, holy moly.
Are we always?
It's true, but yeah, the quantity of stuff today for sure, and the stuff they have up for pre-order right now is kind of insane. Mariano is in the house. Hello, Mariano.
Hello.
Petey Dubs is here.
Hey,
sure already has half the stuff that was unveiled today. Scott D, where does he get all those wonderful toys? Indeed. Shogun 77 is here. Hey guys. So yeah, good crew already in the chat. Now, again, one last little housekeeping thing here. I did want to, let's see this one right here. I think PD Dubs shared. Actually, there's a couple of collection shares. This one was from
cool.
Mark Anthony. I think because last week we were talking about the Legacy collection, so shared some of those. But PD Dubs sent in this email, and so he joked about picking up. This man picked up a
full Origins display.
Full Origins display. PD Dubs, man, you are
putting in the legwork.
Cheers to you, sir. Nicely done. Nicely done.
Where are you, PD Dubs? I'm curious where you found that. What state?
Yeah, you need to let us know. Need to let us know for sure.
Because it'll be, where I'm not looking then, if you emptied it already.
Come on. You may be getting a second one.
Oh, come on.
Two of these. Nobody. He says Kansas.
Oh, that's way too far for me.
But he says it's 6 feet tall. 6 feet tall. Good Lord.
But it does break down in half.
It does. It does. So there's that. There's that.
If you're feeling generous, PD, I'll send you my address.
And we don't have time for a toy hauls really or recent hauls, but a couple weeks ago I gave a bunch of crap to Hasbro Pulse for not sending me my Spangler wand, and look at what arrived at my doorstep today.
Oh,
it's like they knew we were going to be talking about this.
Yep.
Today. And yes, it arrived. My Spangler's Neutrona wand.
Is it tired?
What's that?
I said they got tired of hearing the trash talk.
They did. I haven't even opened it yet. I haven't had time, but hopefully I'll be opening up this weekend and maybe putting a quick review video together. All right. Let's not waste any more time. We got a lot to dig into tonight, and we'll have a lot more tomorrow night to dig into. So let's jump right into it. So now I'm going to be doing this a little bit different than the last time. Which is usually I have a bunch of pictures. This time I'm just going to do this kind of screen sharing so you can see John and I's beautiful faces as we react to it. But first up, John, did you watch any of the Heroquest /
I actually did, yeah.
Was it cool? I kind of didn't really watch it too much.
I gotta say, not really.
Okay.
It was a lot of Joe talking, and the comments reflected that.
Interesting. Okay.
A lot of people were just, shut up, Joe, shut up, Joe. But then that guy, Steven, I think he's the creator of the original Heroquest.
Oh, cool.
So he got a lot of love in the comments. People were pretty much saying, I can just listen to him all day long. I had Heroquest when I was a kid. I got it for Christmas. But I had never played it. I put it together. I played with the little figures and the accessories in there.
Yeah,
that was absolutely it. I never learned 1 second of that game.
That must have been the case for a lot of people because I went to our local toy show and one of our other friends, Chris, was selling his childhood copy of Heroquest, and he also never played it once, but he still had, it's apparently really valuable, the original one. So he was just bringing it to sell it.
Well, that new Heroquest game, the new campaign, they needed $1 million and it hit it in the first day.
Yeah.
That's
so fast.
That is insane.
The demand's there.
Yeah.
Demand's there.
Well, I guess back in the 80s, they did, or whenever it came out, they did release more campaigns in other countries, so it really ramped up the popularity around the world.
Okay, that explains. I did see they had different additions that you could put in the game. That one got backed in one day. Is the Razor Crest? We'll talk about that later. So let's move along here. What did you think of the host? I thought she did a pretty good job, and I liked the kind of the little the 3D layout thing. I thought was kind of cool.
It was little Avengers Jarvis-y like.
Yep.
I think she did a good job.
Yeah, I thought she did as well. Like considering the production value seemed really high. Like if you can compare it to this show, which does not have the same production. It's just me literally pushing buttons over here.
Yeah,
it's really well done. I did a really good job. But I will say our ability to plus and comments looks a lot cooler than what they're doing on this show. Just saying, Hasbro. But also in fairness to Hasbro, God, those comments. I wish I filmed the comment section because holy moly, it was
Yeah.
going like rapid fire. So I mean, most of it was just kind of recapping some of the same people that they bring in for the fan first Fridays or whatever. So this Patrick guy, I recognize him. I think Eric as well. I really liked Vicky. I thought I honestly wish she would have done more of it than Patrick. No offense, Patrick, but I kind of liked her approach to things. But
she seemed more personally into it.
Yes,
she was so excited about all of it.
Exactly, and I'm not knocking. Maybe Patrick just as much is, but just in terms of, I think Vicky presented that better.
Yeah.
But so yeah, we kind of in our predictions episode thought it was going to be Mando heavy because that's just about all there was, and it kind of lived up to that prediction, so to speak. But they did unveil we're gonna have, and they did the trailer, but we're gonna have Mando Mondays. So I guess another part of the series of Fan First Friday. So I guess even more Mando stuff is going to be coming.
Yeah, that's what they alluded to. It's just Mando stuff released or teased on Mondays now. From here until 30 years from now.
We may have not had Baby Yoda in time for last Christmas season.
It's going to be grown-up Yoda.
Every 5 seconds. So we did get some more vintage collection than I thought we were going to get. With these sets. I thought, they look pretty cool. I mean, for me, I'm kind of like cool, but I don't really do vintage collection anymore. What was your kind of thoughts there?
I think Hasbro's trying to just get something out there, like in a 4-inch scale. And this is, I think they're just, revisiting these. They're calling it the specialty series because they're essentially re-releases, but they redid the Anakin face, soft good cape. I think it's just something they want to get something out there. It's something for people to buy because there's not much media outside of the Mandalorian right now.
Can I just say, they had all this production. Couldn't they get us a little like?
I know.
Something to put the figure in. Every figure they did this, the hand behind the figure thing. Like like a piece of paper,
or just preloaded pics. Like preloaded close-ups.
They kind of had that a little bit. I really dig this Rex. I basically modern Star Wars. I'm trying to stick to Black Series and only non-original trilogy stuff. So like Clone Wars, Rebels, and Mandalorian. But this 3 3/4-inch one looks pretty dope.
Yeah, and it's the first time on a vintage card.
Yep, exactly.
As well.
So I think that's pretty cool. These incinerator ones look pretty cool. But again, they showed the Black Series one right after. I was like, okay, well, I'm going to get that one.
Yeah.
But for those that collect the 3 3/4-inch, size figures, I think you're there. Mariano says he pre-ordered the 2 battle droids, Amidala and Anakin. I mean, battle droids great because you can army build it. So totally get wanting to just double down on that 100%. Moving on here. This was pretty cool. The Phase Clone Trooper is great. I mean, troopers just sell. So I was cool with that.
Yeah. And they're going to use that same armor now, they said, this will be the baseline for every other clone that can use any piece of that armor from here on out.
Yeah, exactly. And again, from what I've seen of the one they already released, the Mandalorian Stormtrooper, which I think uses the same buck. It's a great buck. So, all right, Jar Jar. I'm not gonna lie, watching the Clone Wars has made me appreciate Jar Jar way more than I did when the movie first came out. So I'm actually excited about this Jar Jar figure. I think he looks great. I think it's a deluxe figure, right? I think it's on right now. So it is a little bit pricier, but I think it looks great.
It's a good looking figure. And, Jar Jar does have his place. People where episode 1 was their first, venture into Star Wars, like they really didn't see a problem with him. It's the people who are, part of the original trilogy that had a problem.
Yeah.
But people had problems with Ewoks too.
Yep. Exactly. So I really dig it. And I think it looks really good. Between that and the Boba Fett,
Mhm.
I may get both. I may get both. We'll see. And then going to that Boba Fett, I think this Boba Fett looks amazing.
Yeah, it does. If it turns out that
Yeah.
that's what they're going to do,
Yeah.
because that's just a digital render.
It is. It is. But God, it looks faint. Like
Yeah,
the detail on the cloth looks incredible.
it looks like it's just a shrunken down Hot Toys sort
Right?
of.
So are you? What's the over under? You think that it's not going to come across that good in person?
I think it is going to show up as well as it's pictured.
Yeah. Yeah,
I think Hasbro's trying to put in the extra work to make sure the result is the example.
Mm-hmm. Well, they keep doing this now. It's getting a little frustrating that because I was collecting the Rebels figures.
Mm-hmm.
But now they keep making these better looking Rebels figures. Like, I need the better looking one. At least this is Return of the Jedi Boba Fett, so there is a bit of a differentiation there.
Yeah.
But yeah, the little attachments are awesome. And yeah, I think he looks great.
Yeah. And I think they said the rocket's removable as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure they said that.
Yeah. He just looks freaking awesome. So yeah, I think that one's an easy buy. And again, I will go over all the prices of these in a minute because it is up on the website right now. Is it $29? $39?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was.
So it looks great. All about it. 100%. All right, let's go to the one that probably, if you're watching the chat, ticked everybody off.
Yep.
The Rey Dark Side Vision version. Have you still not seen the?
I did see it.
You did? Okay.
Yeah. Wasn't impressed.
Yeah, I agree. Like, and I am a pretty easygoing Star Wars fan. Like, I loved Last Jedi. Like, I loved everything. But this one, I was just kind of like, meh.
Yeah.
And this Dark Side Vision version looked cool in the trailer. And why they put it in trailer, because it was like for 5 seconds. And we all kind of thought it was going to be a red herring. It turned out to be a red herring. And so I get them kind of going out there to do this, but I don't care about this figure. I just don't care about it. What's your thoughts?
I think spot on. I told you this earlier that I was reading the comments, and they're moving so fast. But somebody had commented that this will be a Five Below exclusive, and that's spot on. I think the only thing good about this figure is people will want that lightsaber for like a custom, Sith, somewhere down the line.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a stinker,
right?
Even
didn't she have like a little sharp, jagged teeth or something? Like, do the face with the teeth or something?
Yeah, she did. She had like little, like fangs on all of her teeth were like little fangs.
So show that. Like, we're just getting a static Rey face. I got that one already in the case. I don't need another one of those. So really, it's like spending $20-something for a cool double lightsaber.
No thanks.
Yeah.
Pass.
Hold on. First sad trombone of the evening, but probably not last. All right.
Coming soon to Five Below.
All right, let's move along here. And some more. Yeah, here it is. The incinerator stormtrooper looks freaking awesome. And again, can I say I love Vicky? Hasbro, more Vicky, please. She's great.
Yep.
God, it looks great. Like, look at the flame effect on there. It's the Boba Fett flame effect's gonna look cool too.
But I mean, the colors on that figure, regardless, say that was just a one-off. Like, say it never appeared in the Mandalorian. It's a good looking figure. Like that color scheme just pops.
Oh yeah. It looks freaking awesome. I that one's a definite buy for me. All right, the armorer looks amazing. The packaging looks amazing. This one looks great.
I was a little confused. Were they making that an exclusive for Hasbro Pulse, or was that going to be like a mass retail?
At least that packaging that they're giving, I think, is a Hasbro Pulse exclusive.
Okay, and then it'll have a mass
Right now.
release in a regular box.
I would assume so. Maybe not as many of the accessories, but still, it looks amazing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like that figure, looks fantastic. And then the Star Wars Black Series Archive. Again, I kind of lamented about it before, but so many of these figures that they're bringing back are so much better than the original ones. Like I have an Admiral Thrawn because again, I'm buying or trying to build a Rebels team, and he's featured in Rebels. And boom, here's another Admiral Thrawn that now I've got these stacks of figures that I haven't even displayed yet because I'm trying to think of how I'm going to display them. And then now I got to get another one. But still cool. I think the theme here is don't overpay for any Black Series or Marvel Legends figure,
right?
Because they will re-release it.
Yep. It seems it's every time a figure, say goes, $80, $100 in a year, it's coming back out. Like save your money. It'll cost you $20 next year.
Yep. Agreed.
And that 50th anniversary of Lucasfilm tease on that package, they said they're going to get into that at some point.
Yep. Which is cool because that would be, is that THXX 11158 or whatever?
It's got to be.
Is that 71 then? That's 2021. But still cool because I think we were talking about in our prediction show, is there going to be, there's no Return of the Jedi is, 3 years away for an anniversary thing. So we're to the point now where they'll have some type of anniversary to celebrate every year. All right. And so John and I were kind of texting throughout this, like when you have to start your presentation by saying, when we took this to Lucasfilm, they hated it. But we did it anyway.
But honestly, prior to showing the figures, when they started talking about their pitch and it just said holiday editions.
Yeah.
I was honestly expecting to see figures, Black Series figures from the holiday special.
Yes.
Not
a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer. Instead, we get these. And again, I feel bad because they have to have the chat up, right? Or are they smart in not having the chat up? Because I felt like I was watching their faces to see and look at this one comes with a Nerf gun. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I really don't think that they wanted to look at the chat. Like, I think, that's like every line that they read, that was like, their thoughts prior to making this. Like, is this going to be a good idea? Nope. Let's do it anyway.
Oh my God. Yeah, they just and look at this one has a Christmas sweater. That's pretty cool.
I think the coolest things about these figures is that real printed 3D real scan whatever Christmas sweaters, the ugly Christmas sweaters. That I think that's interesting that they're able to do that. I won't buy these whatsoever. I just think the technology's cool.
Yeah. What about the Christmas porgs, the little penguin porgs?
No thanks.
And I was trying to think. Again, here we get some more great hand behind the figure. I gotta do that now. Whenever I show a figure on this show now.
You should have like one of those big foam hands from like a baseball game.
But like, okay, you can't even customize this, really, right? Like, there's nothing.
No. They look, I mean, this one right here in the green and orange, that looks like it has been customized halfway.
Yeah. So, okay. Hasbro, I appreciate you trying something new. And, maybe people that want to set up a Christmas diorama around their Christmas tree, you could probably do something fun with this, right? You could probably set up a little Star Wars Christmas village.
Yeah,
or
you could put them on your mantle.
Yeah.
Or stockings.
Put it in your tree, like the stormtroopers are like trying to set up the tree or something. I'm sure there's stuff you could do with these.
We'll see him on Instagram mid-December.
I'm sure, but man, and again, people here that are maybe weren't watching it today, but holy moly, like it was just barf emojis and so
these things are getting ripped apart. But it's not the first time they've done a Christmas themed Star Wars set. You know, they've done that 2-pack with C-3PO and R2-D2, but it was an homage to the old movie poster that, you know, celebrating Christmas in Star Wars. And it was a 4-inch scale. And maybe they should have just done that again, you know, like in 6-inch scale, not this.
Yeah.
And this figure right here, the Range Trooper, that was a peg warmer to begin with.
Yeah.
Did they honestly just take the returns and then paint them? They didn't actually remake these figures. These are just the returns. they just painted them.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. Again, I don't want to ever stifle creativity and trying something new, but you know, like there's again, like the holiday special figures. That would be awesome. A holiday special Boba Fett. That would be huge. Yeah, I mean, you retread the figures that are popular all the time. How could you not? That's right for the taking.
Yeah. And I think they should have made these for one store, where instead they did 5 figures, 5 different exclusives. So you got to go to Walmart, Best Buy, GameStop, Amazon, Target. If you're going to buy these lousy figures, don't waste your time going to all these stores. You know, you just want to buy all the bad figures at one time and get it over with.
Again, maybe I think. Hold on, it might have been in the chat. It's another Five Below exclusive. Here we go, Mariano. The Christmas figs I can see at Five Below. Just know. They'll
be at Five Below in February when Christmas is over.
Again, I could see having some fun with your Christmas display, but I'm not spending $20 a fig. I'm not driving to Best Buy, Walmart, Target, wherever to complete this set.
Nope.
No way.
And they honestly should have made the Santa-esque figure Vader.
Yes. Yep. Totally agree. Maybe that's what they did originally, and Lucasfilm was like, no, you're not desecrating Vader.
Right. You can crap all over the Range Trooper.
Yeah, have the Range Trooper. Nobody likes that one. And what's this one again? The DDO or whatever this one was from.
Yeah, I can't remember what that thing's name is.
Eddie Aguilar says, keep the change, you filthy animal. Mariano says, just no. Let's see, going down. Shogun, did they have to do so many Xmas figs?
I guess they did. I guess they had to. Maybe it was like a deal that they made, you know.
Jeff Victor, taking unwanted figs and rinsing to produce more unwanted figures. Brilliant. Good point. Oh man. Hardline Soul, this is awful. Just add these to the pile of firewood for Christmas. Oh man. Shogun says, oh sorry, I had to eye roll so many times I almost had to go to the hospital. Let's see here. Wait, sorry, where is it? There we go. Tree Shaker. Having a good. What kind of what I was saying? They're kind of fun. Stormtroopers already inhabit the village under my tree each year. I think these could be fun, but I think they went a bit too far. I think it's your point. Make a 5-pack. Just get it one and done. Get it over with, and move on. So there you go. All right. My prediction was that we were going to get a Darksaber Black Series 4X. We did not get that. But we did get this Ahsoka kind of multicolored blade. But the thing is, it's only one of Ahsoka's lightsabers. Ahsoka famously has 2 lightsabers.
Yep. You're gonna have to buy 2.
Smaller one. This is her. What do they call it? Somebody in the chat probably knows. But this looks like the smaller one. It's not even her main lightsaber. It's like the guard lightsaber. So I'm really excited that this is coming out. I really would like a set of Ahsoka's sabers. I'm a big Ahsoka fan. So it's cool they did it. Looks like a lot of neat stuff. I love how the blades are movable. I love looks like we got a little kyber crystal there. I love the stand, I think is fantastic. because one of the things with the Force Effects stuff they've done, while the hilts have turned out to be fantastic, some of them are just absolutely great. Like I have the Anakin one right here, and as someone that's been obsessed with sabers for years, like the actual hilts are fantastic. But when comparing them to the ones you can get at Disneyland now, the blade's stuck in there, and some people customize them and take them out and stuff. But for those of us that aren't as talented at that, I really think that this is removable, and hopefully that'll be more the case going down the line. So again, a lot to like here. I just wish they would have went all the way and given us both hilts.
They'll repackage it. You'll have another chance, twice the money.
I might just wait. I might as well wait till they do a 2-pack, right? But still, the packaging looks great. I can kind of see Rosario Dawson there, so that's cool. So yeah, that's neat. Mission Fleet. So this is kind of an honor to Mark Brudeau, I didn't realize he retired.
Is it Brudeau or Boudreaux?
Boudreaux. And so a bit of the Haslab love here, and there's a long interview with him. So we'll fast forward through this. And let's take a pause here for just a second. I'm gonna stop sharing. So before we get into the Haslab reveal, kind of final thoughts here on the Star Wars main hour. Yay or nay for you, John?
Nay.
Nay? Full nay?
Yep. Because I think
the full name.
The only exciting thing was the Mando stuff.
Yeah.
Like, the vintage collection figures are repacks. Essentially they're the Black Series Archive figures are repacks.
Mm-hmm.
The new stuff is Mando. Like,
yep.
And there wasn't. I can't say there wasn't enough of it because they've been putting out so much. There was only so much to announce.
Yeah.
So far, nay for me.
Yeah. Go ahead, please.
So I feel like these cons, like Pulse Con or any of these other virtual ones, are sort of making up for what didn't happen out of San Diego.
Sure. Yeah.
So say San Diego did happen. And all these were the only reveals that we've seen at San Diego. It would have been disappointing.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. And it's kind of this double-edged sword. Like, how much do I blame Hasbro for this? Because there's not a lot of new Star Wars content.
Right.
But still, I do think there's stuff that could be done. And we'll get to the Haslab in a second. But, out of all of the predictions that we had, Razor Crest is definitely one of them. But I feel like there's a lot of cooler options before the Razor Crest.
Yeah. And even a lot of the comments were all of our predictions from last week.
Yep. And so, yes, while I think the armor is great. I think the Jar Jar looks good. I think the Boba looks great. But overall, kind of lackluster. And again, don't know how much I blame Hasbro for that. And maybe the Hasbro Fan First Fridays, maybe they kind of didn't have enough saved and pent up for this type of big event. But to your point, something like a Comic-Con, and that Sentinel would have been the big reveal at Comic-Con.
Yep.
And even then, like pairing the Sentinel to the Haslab Razor Crest, the Sentinel is so much freaking cooler. And we'll get. I don't want to get too far because we're going to watch that in a second. But still, it's a nay for me as well. Let's go to the chat, see maybe what you all are feeling. This is my first time saying any of this today. What a bunch of garbage. We still don't have Bib Fortuna. There you go, Bib Fortuna.
Good point. Great point.
Curtis St. John with that one. Yeah. Let's see. Lola Pap, we'll get into Marvel later on, so definitely save that question if you can. Peter 2, I love The Mandalorian. Hasbro has been putting Baby Yoda to work so much that I'm surprised that someone hasn't called. Mariano.
But
well spoken.
Yeah.
Well spoken. PD Dubs, no thank you on these. This is in reference to the Christmas stuff. Should have made them out of candy. At least you could eat them afterwards.
Like foil wrapped chocolate.
Right? Eddie Aguilar, I wonder if it'll taste like they look. So yeah, I think again the holiday things that could have been so cool to do a holiday special. You know, like Chewbacca's family and the version of Luke and all the stuff that we saw there. That'd have been so much fun. That would have been way more fun than those figures. But it is what it is. I can't control the future.
And then I don't know if you picked that up, but the guy from Lucasfilm kept calling the Porgs little buddies. He never said the name of any of the character accessories, the small characters. He was just, oh, I love the little buddies. I love the little buddies. I'm like, you work for Lucasfilm. You should know what they're called.
Maybe it was a brain fart. He's live, you know? Not everybody is as comfortable being live on the internet like you and I, John. All right. Okay, let's jump right into the where are we at here? Yes, the Haslab. And again, a lot of excitement. They prepped it up. And okay, again, telegraphing it right here. Because I think I even texted you. I was like, oh, it's definitely gonna be the Razor Crest. Like, let's go over there. And then we have this shot where it basically pans over from the Millennium Falcon to the Razor Crest. So it's almost like it's gonna be the Razor Crest. But it almost, they set themselves up a little bit by showing all of this sail barge stuff, right?
Yep.
It was a love fest for the sail barge, which is it's the first one. It's a great set. And they had, you know, Mark Bordeaux, who designed it and just spent an hour talking about it. And then following that up, you basically present the new Haslab, the second ever Star Wars Haslab, and it's the Razor Crest. And while I think it's a great vehicle to do, and we're watching that kind of introductory video now, all they have is the computer renderings, not even painted renderings. They couldn't get us more detailed shots here.
Yeah, I think for the amount of work that they put into these, render videos, it's just as easy to, pick a color and put on the ship rather than just gray. Yep. Like this was their opening sales pitch on this.
Yeah.
And, actually, like they should actually put the work in. I understand that a lot of Star Wars fans get the fact that once Haslab put something together, it's going to be a nice result, but you want to see what you're going to pay for, because you're in a year out from getting anything if it goes through, and I assume it will.
Yep.
But if you put that much work into this, like, why didn't you make it look like it should? Yeah,
I agree. And again, all the details look great. We even have our own little was it the first toilet in any ship ever? That's great.
Yep.
An exclusive Mando with cloth cape. Awesome. So all of these details look fantastic, but really couldn't take, if we could, to your point, doing this type of animation is a lot of work. Why couldn't just take the extra steps to show us what it'll look like fully painted? They didn't even answer the question, because it's kind of chrome in the show. Like, what is that going to look like? Right. We have this thing back by November 9th.
Yeah, I think I wrote it down. I think it is November 9th.
And so, and then the price was, put me out of it, honestly. $350. I think you mentioned you dropped. It was like, well, maybe it's 150 because the Slave One was 150. No, $350. That's pricey. Like, I do not. And again, what was the Sentinel? Was he 325, 350?
I think 350.
At least he kind of fits in. He's this character that will be great. It's an army builder, all of these types of things. But that seems really steep to me.
Yeah, because wasn't the BMF, that wasn't that much at retail. You like when the first like legacy release.
Yeah, was it like 150 or 175 or something like
I
that?
think so, because then the turbo tank and the big clone walker, those were like 150.
Mm-hmm.
And 350, that's just
It already has almost 3,500 backers, so
yeah.
it'll probably make it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think it'll make it based on like Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth.
Mm-hmm.
The guys that are gonna place orders of 100 or 200 pieces.
Yeah.
But it's cool.
Yeah.
But it's not $350 cool.
No, not for me. Not for me. What about in the chat? I wanna see what you all think. Let's see. Eddie Aguilar, 3,700 backers as we speak. Decided it's still a bit wonky. I couldn't order my 2. It took a while. So you ordered 2. Good for you, Eddie. To me, it's just like and again, I love Star Wars vehicles. Like I've got plenty. I've got the BMF. I've got the big AT-AT. And I would love a Razor Crest. 350 is steep. Really steep.
Mm-hmm.
You said it last year. Not enough mana stuff this year. All Black Series, all the carbonized Haslab, Mando Monday. No shortage this year. Very true. Everything under the umbrella. I want to see the tiers. And Master says because they know people are fine with 350. I guess so.
Yeah.
It looks like it's going to get backed. So Hasbro knows more than I do. For me personally, I feel like 350 for a vehicle that's not, in my eyes, is not that big. Now, I did bring a special tool that the people at Hasbro didn't think to bring today, but us here at Toy Geeks, we have a really big budget, so we have ways to kind of show dimensions of theoretical figures better than Hasbro. I brought a measuring tape, and so they said it was 30 inches long, just to kind of give perspective of the size here. So let's see, 30 inches. So it's a big ship. Like that's big.
Yeah.
So that's front to back, 30 inches.
20 inches wide.
It was 20 inches wide. So that's engine to engine. So like looking at it straight on, it'll be, that wide. I think it was like 10.5 inches tall.
Yep. In parentheses, with the landing gear down.
Yeah, with the landing gear.
Yeah.
So I have a big melon. It's about the size of my melon.
But see, I don't think that's tall enough.
Right?
It's, with the landing gear not on, it's like probably 8 inches high. That doesn't seem right for a 4-inch scale.
Mm-hmm. Well, the landing gear is kind of squatty though. In fairness to the rate, it's kind of.
I just feel like in the Mando universe, I just thought a little bit taller because those engines are giant.
The engines are huge. That is true. That is a good point. So I mean, it's big. It's not BMF big. I spec'd out the BMF before this. I think it's 33, 34 inches long, 25 inches wide. I think it is probably a little bit taller because it's the Millennium Falcon. It's not a very tall in relation. But anyway, so I mean, it is a good size. Again, this is how it's 30 inches long, 20 inches wide, and 10 inches tall, which again, 10 and a half inches tall. I mean, I do think it, in my eyes, that does look pretty tall. That's taller than the BMF, I'm pretty sure. So I do think it could accommodate for the turbines. But again, we couldn't. Hasbro, you couldn't show some pictures here for scale.
And you know what? I think Hasbro's thought process at 350 is, they sold the barge. How much was that? 700? Or was that like 550? Was that around 550?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
I can't remember. But anyway, between him or the barge, Unicron, and other projects like the Super 7 Snake Mountain, I think regardless of the cost that Hasbro has into making it, I think they'll put a price on it. And a lot of the bigger projects, they're probably just breaking, a little bit of profit. Like I think the Super 7 Snake Mountain that thing is massive, and it
Yeah.
probably costs close to what we're paying to
Yeah.
produce it,
Yeah.
because Super 7 is also a smaller company.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Hasbro probably puts a price on this, and maybe it costs like $50 to produce it. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I think, like it said in the comments, Hasbro knows it'll get paid for. Like they'll pay, if they put $400 on it, fans would have paid 400.
Yep. That's true. That is true. So maybe there's a little bit of profit taking here. But again, I would have loved to see some colors. Now, going to the chats, a lot of people are saying that they want to see it chromed out. Scott D says that. Maybe that could be a future tier. I believe someone said that in the chat. Really wish they were still doing the titanium series. Lola passes, they have the worst methods. Sail barge approximately 500.
500.
Master Hoarder says yes. Barge is 550. Eddie Agar, give me a Baby Yoda for the first tier, right? But again, like a tier shouldn't be a microscopic Baby Yoda. The dang thing should come with the Baby Yoda.
Yeah, the first tier should be the that creature dewback thing. I don't even remember what that thing is called.
Oh yeah.
Like that should be a tier.
One of the tiers, like have the whole crew, have the IG, was it 10? And have the whole crew.
The Ugnut guy.
Yeah. Yep.
Everybody. That thing should be full of figures when you receive it, if it reaches, a couple tiers.
Yeah, exactly. The tiers are pretty steep though. Looking at the tiers, I believe it was like $8,000 and then like $10,000.
Yeah. I think it was 2,000 jumps per tier.
So there's the I'm so happy and excited about Dark Ray that I pre-ordered 2. Really, Mariano? Good for you.
So you want 4 lightsabers.
This makes it this one of the largest vintage collections we've ever made. It's not the BMF.
No.
It's
not the sail barge.
It's not the sailor's barge. So unlock 1 at 8,000 backers. Unlock 2 at 10,000 backers. I think one of those tiers has to be like the whole crew, right? Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody gets to be in there. Plus the little creature thing.
Mm-hmm. They'll give you the little gear shift knob, that he gives to Baby Yoda, because it's like a comfort blanket.
Scale, that's going to be like the one that came with the Black Series was already like as small as a little bead. I don't know how they would do that. Okay. So that's one of the tier predictions. John, what do you think the other one needs to be? What's another unlockable tier that we need to? It's only 2 that we have that they're at least saying is going to happen.
Yeah, I don't even know what to think for a tier. I can't think of anything that's related to the ship enough to to justify a tier.
Mm-hmm.
Other than just figures.
Yeah.
That's I don't know. Unless they have like interchangeable body panels that have like battle damage.
Ugh, battle damage panel, so lame.
I can't think of anything else.
They make here, I think everything under the umbrella said it. 10,000 backers, they make $3.5 million, and that is battle damage. Come on. This should be a regular retail release, not crowdfunded. With season 2 premiere in October, the Razor Crest would have been a perfect holiday item this year. I can't disagree. And I wonder if we will still get a major retail release, because this is a lot of detail, a lot of different little feature stuff. Will they maybe sell a toned down version at retail at some point?
Yeah, maybe, because they didn't say, or did they, that it was a Haslab exclusive?
Not that I saw.
Because with the sail barge, I'm pretty sure that was a Haslab exclusive. It was stated.
Mm-hmm.
And there would be no other way to get it. And the yak face that came on that card with the coin was the only way you can get it, even though they released it, separately. So I bet that there's a chance that, if this does get backed all the way, Hasbro will say, well, we have the tooling, we might as well just release it.
Yeah, kind of the same way they've done BMF, right? They've released it now 3 times. The original time for Legacy, then the Vintage Collection one, and now the Galaxy's Edge version.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I kind of call in the question there is you're basically having the fans pay for your tooling, and now you get to basically reproduce as much as possible. Which I guess whatever, they can do whatever they want to do, but I absolutely think we'll probably get a normal retail release that'll be probably less fancy at some time. At some point in time. Let's see. I want to re-release Star Wars Return of the Jedi, Star Wars My Little Pony dolls from Bernie Davis. First tier, removable shift knob for Baby Yoda.
It's going to be like a grain of salt. It's going to be that small.
It's a great tier 1, guys. It's a great tier 1.
They sell life-size ones at AutoZone.
Mariana says, yes, really, Jay. Oh, Ray. Listen, I love Ray. I love Daisy Ridley. I think she's adorable. I just don't need that figure. All right, Lolo Bab, I want a re-release of... oh, sorry, I said that. Mariana, they could definitely make a scaled down Razor Crest. I don't think they need scaled down. They already have the tooling. They'll probably just make it less... have less of this stuff, less of the cockpit, or maybe the opening up for the weapons rack. I don't know. Carbon freezing chamber. There's stuff they could probably pull out, sell it for $150 at retail. $150, I could probably say, let's do it. But $350, I don't know. Too rich for my blood. But for everybody out there, Eddie Aguilar says he already has 2. I believe Eddie said he had like 75 Sentinels as well. So, Eddie, kudos to you. I got kids' school to pay for. All right. Let's final thoughts here. Star Wars overall. Seems like you and I, John, are feeling that's not an overall score, though. I feel like they did put out cool stuff, but in the scheme of things, compared to maybe PowerCon, where there was just like, bam, so much stuff, we were blown away.
Yep.
Nothing blew me away today. Nothing blew me away on the Star Wars side.
Nope. It was like an average day.
Eddie, I just had my second kid, so I feel you. Oh, okay. So just Eddie's independently wealthy. Listen, Eddie, good for you. I'm happy for you. I'm not jealous at all. Okay. All right. All right. Let's jump into Marvel for a second, where Marvel is kind of a tale of two cities for me. And actually, let me say one more thing. Actually, I did want to mention I love the Clone Wars panel. It had the voice actors. Let me make sure I mute this. The voice actors of Rex and, of course, all the other clones, and then Ahsoka. And it was a lot of fun. So Ashley Eckstein, D. Bradley Baker. This was actually a really good panel. I go to San Diego Comic-Con every year. This was a San Diego Comic-Con caliber panel. It was really good. For those of you that enjoyed the final season of Clone Wars, it was really emotional. It was a really, really good panel. Really dug it. So kudos there. And really all you needed was just Ashley and D. Bradley Baker just to kind of chat and share stories, and it would have been great. So I really dug that. That's a little aside there. All right. But so with Marvel, a lot of preamble, which is cool, I guess. But so first up, we have this Stormbreaker, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. If you want to collect the props, it's not bad.
Yeah, but look at it. It has lighting effects, which is cool.
The sound was not great.
Oh no? Do I still have sound here? Let's see. Can you hear that?
Yeah. A lot of people were crapping on it. The sound effects saying, it sounded, 1980s sound.
Oh, I think I did hear the 1980s laser sound. Okay, here's my question. You know, there's that old Vin Diesel clip from Toy Fair years and years ago, him doing Street Sharks.
Oh yeah, yep.
I wonder, is this guy going to be like a Vin Diesel one day?
Probably. He looks like one of the Amell brothers.
Oh yeah, he kind of does look like Stephen Amell, huh?
Yeah.
Maybe it is. I don't know that guy well enough to.
Lesser known.
So we had some talks about Sentinel, which again, I backed it. Did you back it? No, I did. When that 3 something hit my credit card, I was like, whoa. Anyway, let's get into what they revealed here. Here we go. All right, Hellfire Club Guard.
Hasbro Pulse Army Builder.
Yeah, big army builder.
That's all I know about it.
Yeah, that's mine. Doesn't want it. Cool. It's pretty neat. Then we have this video game line, which gives us this cool Steve Rogers, and then we've got this Tony Stark. I don't care.
Atmosphere armor.
But this Falcon's cool though. And they're saying it's the first time we've gotten this version of Falcon since the Toy Biz one. Which is cool.
The Toy Biz one is so wonky. Like the joints are so terrible.
Yeah. Yep. That was in that collection of like Marvel Legends that you and I so that was cool. And then another character that we haven't gotten since like old crappy Hasbro Marvel Legends. So Kang, so that's cool. So some good stuff there. Was it Thunderstrike, right?
Yeah. Eric Masterson, Thunderstrike.
And Joska? I didn't even know who this one was. Did you know?
I think it's Joe Costa.
Joe Costa?
I think so. Yeah. In the comics, I think Ultron made her to have a girlfriend, I guess. A mate, anyway.
Hey, well, listen. We all get lonely sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't really know the character that well, but she looks great. She looks really cool.
Looks like a cool figure.
Looks kind of has that Metropolis kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And then let's see. And then we got this cool BAF Joe Fixit Hulk. It's kind of neat.
Yeah, some reused Kingpin parts, but new torso, make them look a little bit less chunky.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. What did it say? So you can pre-order it now on Hasbro Pulse, so it's not like a Walmart exclusive or something, so that's good at least. All right, this new retro line, now it did drop on Pixel Dan, like he had kind of the exclusive first look. What's your thoughts on the, they even put Kenner on there, even though Kenner never had Marvel as a license. What's your thoughts on these 3 3/4 inch, just 5 POA, or even, are they even 5 POA? I think they're 5 POA Marvel figures, retro figures.
I'm not a huge fan. If I think the original press release said in the style of Secret Wars figures, but they're not like, I don't see that as Secret Wars style, not at all. Like they just look like a 5 POA, bargain price figure, like that they make for 4-inch scale figures, under $10. I don't see anything that great about them. I think if they were going to pitch it as a Secret Wars style, put it in a Secret Wars package.
Agreed. This is what I wanted from this line. Superpowers is one of the greatest toy lines of all time, made by Kenner. This was your chance to make Superpowers scaled Marvel figures to be in the Superpowers style, because you own Kenner. Wouldn't it have been way cooler if these were actually scaled to Superpowers and kind of looked like Superpowers figures?
Yeah.
That'd have been way cooler.
Another massive missed opportunity.
I mean, they could still do it. So if you're listening, Hasbro, take it, run with it. I have the whole complete superpowers collection. You don't have DC right now, which is fine, but you do have Marvel, and you are clearly up to doing retro stuff. The retro Ghostbuster stuff is fantastic. Do superpowers figures, but do Secret Wars figures, but like make them look like superpowers figures.
Right. Like they could take one of those figures, cut the head off, strip the body down, scan it, and then just put, Cyclops' head on it and add the boot cuffs. And like that would be like the Superman body.
Yeah.
Different head, and just add the boot cuffs and paint it.
I would be over the moon if they would have gone that route on this vintage thing, because again, in the idea of they put the Kenner logo on there, so that's clearly going to be maybe their vintage retro-y type stuff, which I get. Kenner's, it's a legend, but I would have loved, would have bought every figure. These, not so much for me. I get the appeal. I think they look cool. But again, like 3 3/4 inch is Star Wars or G.I. Joe. There's nobody really else. Micronauts, maybe some of the Mego stuff, whatever. But really, the Secret Wars and Superpowers are more like 4-inch, 4.5-inch scale, right?
Yeah. Superpowers are a 5-inch scale.
Are they 5-inch? Okay, yeah. I know they're bigger than 3 3/4. So I would have much rather have had it. Maybe you didn't even want to like spec it after Superpowers, whatever. At least maybe make it the same scale. I'd much rather have these retro style figures in the 5-inch scale.
And then they probably would have been the same price, because $20 for a 2-pack of these. I really don't think these are going to sell. I really don't.
I agree,
because they tried doing those. They used Marvel Universe figures, and they put them in a Spider-Man series, but they made the packaging look like the 1990-91 Marvel superheroes that has like that sort of gray card back.
Yeah.
And they did it in a multi-pack, and that box set, like, shelf warmed forever. And I really think these will be the same case.
Again, there's a lot to like here. I like the designs. I think the colors are great. The paint looks great. I love the packaging. But yeah, I feel like if you're going to use Kenner, if you're going to be 80s, you got to be in that 5-inch scale. If you're going to say it's like after Secret Wars, you got to be 5-inch scale.
If you're going to be 80s, be 80s.
Right? Exactly. That's my only bone to pick there. I think they do look great. I do agree with you. I do have concerns they might peg warm. But overall, I think it's a missed opportunity. They're so close to having something that would be huge. Like having, for the first time, Secret Wars does kind of scale well to Superpowers, but to truly say you could have a shelf of same scale, same style, Marvel and DC would be unreal. Everything Umbrella says, the 3 3/4 inch retro Marvel line was my favorite reveal. I think it's great that it's a new line that people can get into from the beginning. Okay, I think there is stuff to like there. It is a Walgreens brand. So yeah.
But I do think like, Umbrella said getting into it in the beginning, but this line may not, have what it takes to keep going. Like this might be, I really think this is the beginning and the end.
Yeah. I really don't see this going that far. Honestly, I'd compare it to some of those other kind of little retro things that are at Walgreens. Remember when they did those little Superpowers figures and stuff?
Yep.
And
the micro. I can't remember what they're called, but yeah, same packaging and everything.
Because I do think there's a flaw in thinking that all toys from the 80s were 3 3/4 inches. They weren't.
No, there was more sizes in the 80s than any other time.
And I feel like for toy makers out there, you need to get out of that habit. Now, again, Star Wars 3 3/4 inch, that is the origination of modern action figures. And same for G.I. Joe, but that's it really. I feel like there's so much more variety. There's so much more variation. I mean, you go from superpowers to Ghostbusters to Thundercats to, I mean, there's so many different scales and different sizes that if you're doing superpowers, both Secret Wars and superpowers were in a 5-inch scale, not a 3 3/4 inch. They did show this exclusive, this kind of chromed out 2-pack kind of thing.
Yeah,
there it is. Looks cool. I don't know. It's a chase. I'm not chasing it, but those that are going to. And Eddie Aguilar says, reminds me of the Super 7 reaction figs. No, thank you. And again, I think there's some cool stuff there. I do think there's cool stuff there. But I think what maybe the problem I may have with reaction figs is that it's kind of set this standard idea that all 80s toys are 3 3/4 inch figures. That is not true. There's so much more to it. There's an Iron Man Black Panther one as well. My 14-year-old son wants to collect these. I'll be getting these for him. So again, from my perspective, I might be wrong. Maybe everybody will want to get into it because it's a new line, which is great. Yeah. Fantastic. Always down. Lolo passes. I love the vintage Kenner Spider-Man figure. I love the paint apps on it. I just want to be able to stand next to my superpowers figures. All I ask. Maybe I'm in the minority here. All right, let's go on here. This 616 thing was okay, but it was kind of neat. I'm excited for the episode.
Yeah, me too.
But it was a little fan service when the people hosting the panel are also the people featured in this special episode, which I thought was kind of funny.
Yeah, a lot of tooting their own horn.
All right. Let's just take a pause here before we get into the last bits of Marvel reveals. Let's jump into the chat. I'll make sure I'm not missing things here. Bernie Davis says Spider-Man is Amazing Friends. We had another bit of those reveals later on. But yeah, it definitely has that feel towards it. Marino Chacon says, I don't like this design of Falcon, but the wings look very good. I mean, again, I think it is kind of a hokey 70s design, but for those of you who want a traditional Falcon, there you go. Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon. And let's see. Lola Pass says, would you like to see new spectacular Spider-Man figures in the Marvel Legends series based on the animated series? Sure. I don't think I've seen that show in a long time, but why not? Why not put it out there?
Mm-hmm.
We have some follow-ups here from Hardline who was following along. Yes, Falcon! Kang! Yeah, I think Kang looks great. I think it looks really good. Let's see. Low Pep, I love the vintage Kenner style Spider-Man fig. Oh, I think I already said that. So there you go. Mariano says to Eddie Aguilar saying it reminds him of Super 7 stuff and no thanks. Mariano agrees. All right. Let's go home stretch here for what Marvel had to reveal, and that was Now this I was really excited. So, John and I were kind of texting. I was like, is this it? Is this all Marvel's going to do? Because this was a big old but then out of nowhere, they kind of pull it out, like all these reveals at the end. And I was like, why did you lead with this? Because I was kind of falling asleep. I think the chat was falling asleep at the time. But we had some Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I think this Miles Morales figure looks awesome.
Yeah, it does. It look like pulled right off the screen, and the way that the joints are, it almost looks like a I don't really think it looks Marvel Legends. I think it looks more like a Japanese figure.
Well, they said that they're using their new kind of pinless technology. So, we mentioned when we kind of did the unboxing of the G.I. Joe figures, and you talked about, how they had the hidden joints. They mentioned in this that, these figures are kind of adopting some of that new technology, and it shines through here in just the pictures. I think it looks.
Yeah, they called it the Invisithin tech.
Invisithin tech. So the Miles Morales looks amazing. Like I want this figure so bad, as well as was it Spider-Gwen, Gwen Stacy, Ghost, Spider-Ghost,
Spider-Ghost, Ghost Spider.
She looks amazing, and these are they did versions of these characters already, but they said these are like so upgraded. I think the head sculpt looks great there. They even joked how he accidentally left the unhooded and hooded accessories on at the same time. And then with this figure, you get the Spider-Ham thrown in. which is awesome.
It's so much cartoony than the last iteration.
Yeah. I think it looks great.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's not as much articulation, but they said the head is on a ball joint. So I think that'll look awesome.
Yeah, he's got a good expressive face.
So I'm really digging those. I think those are great. And then we had what's his name? Stiltman?
Stiltman. Mm-hmm.
Stiltman. So he's gonna be packaged with an army builder, but then so you can keep extending his stilts if you want to keep buying this army builder figure. So this dude kind of I kind of glanced away and I was like, is it extending from the legs? I was like, no, he already had the extra ones attached here. But
like their giant accordion legs. They just
right.
keep
I kind of looked back, I was like, he's pulling those out? How is he doing that? He already had it as such. So you can make this figure really tall if you want to buy enough of that ninja figure.
Yeah, the hand ninja. It'll come with the legs.
Yeah, there it is right there. The hand ninja.
I was expecting the Build-A-Figure from that wave to be Kingpin from Into the Spider-Verse.
Right? Oh man, I would have loved.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna do it, go for it. But it seems like it's kind of a bit of a mishmash.
Yeah.
Maybe down the line they'll do a full intro, because it's been at that point it'll be 2 years since the movie came out. So maybe they'll wait for the new movie to come out and then they'll get to it. But still, that was really cool. Let's see, we got this villains wave, which was interesting. They kind of showed us how they were making these figures, which I thought was interesting, versus some of the other ones, because I guess maybe it was that early on in production.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, Arcade and Dormammu.
They look cool though. I like how they're using the translucent plastic there on his head sculpt or his head.
And that figure, those pictures on the bottom, that looks like a figure. It doesn't even look like a render.
Right? Yeah. Maybe it is. And then we have another Thanos. Is there anything different about this Thanos? Maybe it looks like his glove is snapping.
Yeah, he's got a snapping fingers, but they said that it was mostly a new sculpt. It's not the Build-A-Figure. Or it's not the Walmart version, the Walmart exclusive version. They said this is a totally new figure. So maybe it is.
Maybe.
Who knows? I mean, it does look different,
right? I guess a little bit. Okay. We also have the evil Silver Surfer, which is kind of cool. Kinda. I already have the other stuff. I don't need this, but cool. And then we've got this Powers of X version of what's this? Moira McTaggart.
Yeah. Yep.
Something like that.
Moira. Yeah.
I didn't read this issue, so I don't
know anything about the character.
I'm a bad geek. We have this version of Professor X from House of X. A lot of people wanted the original Miss Marvel, which I thought would have been cool, but we didn't get that. And then we had this version of Magneto, which everyone was like flipping out on that one. He looks really cool. And then this I thought was kind of cool. We have a Toy Biz style Gambit, which I think looks really good. I have the other Gambit, but I remember getting this figure, this Toy Biz one, with the really crappy overcoat, and it just fell apart so fast, and he's just had a collar from that point on.
That was one figure I never got.
No?
And no, I always wanted him. I couldn't find him.
This was like old school Toy Biz, so the quality was awful. So it just broke, so the leg was always like sticking straight up.
Of the original team, I didn't get Gambit or, of course, Iceman. Iceman was
Iceman.
Gold man at that point. He was $1 million, it seemed like.
Right? It's like $100 always. Whenever I found that stupid Iceman, it was $100. That was the first figure that was like unattainable for me as a kid. Nightcrawler was at first too, but then my grandpa, somebody found it, and I was like, yes, I got Nightcrawler. He was my favorite kid. All right, and then we've got our re-release of Rogue, which has been talked about for a while. We're getting on one, and this one comes with a gloved hand, or like holding the glove in one hand with an ungloved hand, which I think is great. An updated head sculpt, and so for those that really need a Rogue, does this scratch that itch?
Probably it'll take care of that itch over spending $100+ to a scalper,
right? I missed out on Rogue. She was a pig warmer, and so I missed out on it originally. So I'm excited for this Rogue to come out because I do want to assemble, a 90s X-Men crew, and you got to have Rogue. And she looks pretty good. The art looks kind of scary, but this one looks pretty good. The figure looks pretty good.
So, yeah. I hope they keep going on those vintage cards.
Yes, I love that card art. I love it, love it, love it. So I'm pumped about that. But also it's like a little like,
yeah,
we get Target. The Canucks look, it's Toys R Us. Pour one out.
Target exclusives.
I feel like we got a chance. Maybe we'll be able to. It won't be that hard to find. All right. Oh, and then we get the Firestar. So we don't know exactly when this is going to be released, right? It was kind of just a tease towards the end.
Yeah. I actually had ducked out. I missed this.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I caught it on Instagram after the fact.
Mm-hmm. She looks great. If you're talking about assembling, your Spider-Man and friends, gotta have Firestar. So, yeah, I think that's a great reveal. Oh, here we go. Wait, hold on. Gotta have.
Gotta have the hand.
I realize now that I've been doing my reviews all wrong on Geek Dad Life. I need to just shoot it like this.
And then like when you need to be behind the camera to fix a shot, you can have somebody else hold the figure with their hand up.
We're just giving you grief, Hasbro. I think you're doing great work.
Yeah.
Anywho, so there you have it. And then we had this concert. Did you watch the concert at all?
No. Nope.
Neither did I. I had it on. It was kind of cool, but I don't know this person. I'm sure it was
Light. Is that what it was?
I think so.
I have no idea who they are.
So it was cool, but if tomorrow they're saving Fall Out Boy and Tenacious D, that's going to be the main headliner there. So there you have it. There is day one of Hasbro Pulse Con. Overall, okay, finishing up Marvel. What's your overall score for the Marvel panel today, or Marvel section of the show?
All right, decent job on the Legends, but the retro line is a total pass for me. I think they missed a lot of opportunity there.
Yeah, I think so too. If it had ended at that point, it would have absolutely gotten the sad trombone. But I think they saved it with the later half reveals. For me, I think the Spider-Man into the multiverse stuff, the Rogue, the Still Man. I mean, I thought that whole last section, I thought was really solid.
Yeah,
and I think they kind of saved the day. But just in terms of a live show, that kind of middle panel, it was a lot of kind of self-fame service that I don't think translated very well in that kind of panel environment.
Yeah, that 616 thing, as I'm looking forward to seeing it. But like you said, if it ended there, I think the whole Marvel panel would have been terrible.
Yeah.
But then just leaving it with more reveals. And I wonder if they set it up that way, because they had the person from Disney there, the director of the episode was there.
Yeah.
Was that just sort of a deal that they made, a little bit of promotion, and they're like, well, maybe we can just fit it in the middle of the Legends panel.
But it'd been cooler because I think the way they did the Star Wars was better, where there was a little bit of that kind of in the middle there, but where you got all the reveals out, and then you had that really cool thing with the Clone Wars kind of panel. I thought that was cool. It was very convention-esque. Where this one, they kind of just the pacing just felt kind of off with that. Now again, online conventions are tougher. Honestly, that type of panel is pretty normal at Comic-Con. There's usually just those ones you go into and you sit down for 45 minutes and you're kind of just passing time, or you just want to sit in an air-conditioned room and it's not that big a deal. But when you're home and you're just staring at a computer screen, it's just not as compelling.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's a little bit of a learn, maybe by next year the Pulsecon will be in person and it won't be digital. And John and I will be, like ESPN will be like with the convention behind us talking about it live. But anyway, yeah. So I think overall the Marvel one, to me, I was more excited by some of the reveals at that. I feel like again those Into the Spider-Verse stuff was a bit more exciting. But again, overall, not blown away with day one. I think not blown away. And I kind of felt that way going into it. I think even when we were doing the predictions episode last week, I felt like Saturday's more of the big day.
Yeah.
So we'll have to wait and see. We'll see tomorrow, and we'll see how that goes. Let's go back to the chat. Let's see. Scott D. I love that Spider-Ham was a spider that was bitten by a radioactive pig. Is that so? I've never read the comic.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Let us know if that's the origin.
No stick fig. I don't.
Stick from Daredevil stick. Is that what you mean?
Maybe. Hardline Soul Hot. Ordinary Joe 79. Retro Gambit 6-inch. Yeah, I think it looks great. Hardline Soul House of X is fire. Again, the House of X stuff was great. PD Dub says definitely scratch that itch. I think I said that earlier. When did these come out? I think most of it was 2021.
Yeah, some of it was starting fall of this year, but again, a lot of them they didn't show us the complete waves.
Yeah, yep.
Parts
of it. Rogue is also fire. I agree. Okay, it's a Target exclusive, so hopefully it's not that hard to find it. Mirano says this year of exclusives, yuck. A lot of exclusives. Ricardo Carrera says, where can I watch the whole day one? My guess is that Hasbro was going to like repost the whole day one. So, if you youtube.com/Hasbro Pulse, I would assume they'll post up because like PowerCon, they posted up the whole days, I think a day or two afterwards. So probably be on the lookout for that. Even when we do these shows live, it takes YouTube about like almost a day to process it and then fully like release it out, even though you can still watch it after the fact. So I would say just it'll probably pop up on youtube.com/Hasbro Pulse. Mon ami, I need Rogue. Listen, a lot of us do because it's so dang expensive now. Target Ordinary Joe 79. Eddie Aguilar says, see you guys tomorrow.
All right, Eddie. Looking forward.
That's what they said in the movie about Spider-Ham's origins. Oh, okay, I have to watch again. I think I forgot about that. But yeah, speaking of see you guys tomorrow, yes, John and I will be recapping day 2, the final day of Hasbro Pulse Con, tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern. I believe the festivities for Hasbro Pulse tomorrow is at 10 a.m., I think.
10:30 they start.
10:30. So if you want to watch it live, youtube.com/Hasbro Pulse. It's a full day. So it starts out, I think, with Joe's, then Transformers, then Ghostbusters, then Power Rangers, and I'm guessing a concert with Tenacious D and Fall Out Boy. So really jam-packed day. Really excited to kind of see what comes from tomorrow. As a big Ghostbusters fan, excited to see what happens there. Loving what they're doing with the G.I. Joe Classified series. So really excited to see what they will reveal then. Again, if you haven't seen it yet, go check out our predictions episode that we did last week. And if you missed it at the top of the hour, next week on our normal Sunday show, 9 p.m., our first ever guest on Toy Geeks, none other than the toy guru himself, Scott Knightlick, will be on the show. And we will do our latest toy hauls which maybe he'll share some of his latest, and then we'll get into asking him questions about the world of toys today. So definitely excited about that. Hit subscribe to youtube.com/geekdadlife. We're here every Sunday at 9 p.m. Or if audio is more your thing, check out our podcast on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you can find free podcasts. Search Toy Geeks, and you'll be able to find an audio version of the show. I apologize this week. All my feeds went down on my website, so it took a little bit longer for the show to get posted if you subscribe to the audio one. But still, that's where you can find an audio version if that's what you prefer. John, any other final thoughts before we close it out today?
Nope. Hopefully tomorrow will be nothing but amazingness.
I agree. But still, kudos to Hasbro. It was a very well produced event. Production was amazing. They put a lot of work into it. So everybody that did it, kudos to all of you. And hopefully tomorrow, we will be blown away by what is to come the next fall, spring, the rest of 2021 for Hasbro. All right, well, that'll do it for this episode of Toy Geeks. We will see you all tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. Be here or be square. And until then, hasta luego and goodbye.